comfort, and this is something else I want to briefly talk about, to find comfort in dysfunctional habits. I call them dysfunctional habits, and that sort of encompasses a lot of things, but it really is, it's compulsive things that we wouldn't, and some people don't like that word compulsive when you think about, I don't know, like it might be excess coffee or talking yourself out of a situation and never actually following through or whatever. And it might not sound like that's compulsive, but there's a level there. It is absolutely that. Like if we drill down, we look at it, there's this compulsive behavior, and it starts somewhere. It dives into something deeper, and it just becomes something that we use to self-soothe. So this is something I'm talking about a lot lately, that compulsive behavior is not about your willpower, right? So it's not like, when someone comes to me and they want to stop smoking or something, and I'm just like, it's, I don't want to give you a band-aid, like with anything that you guys are doing, but smoking is a good example, or eating certain foods or whatever. I don't want to give you a band-aid. I don't ever want to be the band-aid. I want you to, I want you to be free. I want you to be real. I want you to be who you're here to be. And so it's not a matter of just like, oh, well, let's just take this away from you. It's a matter of like diving in and discovering what it is that you are getting from that, which feels really confronting, because we might look at something that we're doing and it feels really bad. Like we might have got a lot of shame around it and a lot of guilt around it. And we just keep building that up, and it's something that becomes hidden and more hidden and more hidden and more hidden. And the more hidden it is, the more fucking hidden it is, right? And then the more shame and the more guilt we feel around it. And then we go into these aspects of self-soothing, like how do we sort of comfort ourselves out of this, or into this, or through this. And self-comfort, like, or self-soothing, is a natural thing. Like it's something that babies do, it's something that we all do. And I want to remind you that that's totally okay. That's totally normal. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to self-soothe, but I'd love you to consider it from a place of supporting you, as opposed to, like, it's that integrity conversation, which can feel very, I don't know, confronting when you're thinking about self-soothing. You maybe not even thinking about some of your behaviors as like, oh, I'm self-soothing here. And as adults, we probably wouldn't even, heck, as adults with some babies, I know that when my kids were little, oh, you got to teach them to self-soothe. I'm like, they're freaking 3 weeks old. What the heck? Adults don't even do this stuff. How am I meant to start teaching a baby to do that? It's something that comes from safety and choosing safety, which we get to choose as adults. We don't choose that as kids necessarily, but as adults, we start to get to choose that. That's where diving into this work with one another and, with ourselves, inside like this program, Free to Be Me, for example, we start to discover all these things about us. We start to discover these aspects that are not to be shamed. They're just part of ways in which we survived, in which we coped. They all served a purpose at some point in time. And with this awareness and with this newness and with a new way of looking at things and ourselves, and developing that relationship with ourselves, well, it doesn't have to be that way anymore, unless we want it to be, of course. And sometimes people feel like that's going to be way too big. I'm not saying there's not things you need to work through or choose to work through, or however we want to word that. But it's as big as you make it. It's as important as you make it. And at the end of the day, it's like, I get to do this, not I have to do this. I get to do this. This gets to be different in my life, not, oh my God, I have to make this different, right?